Okay, now we're good. That's what happens when you take a break for like 2.5 weeks. You forget that there's an actual title of the episode, and you go straight into starting the episode without putting the title up. But yeah, there you go. Hey everybody, we're back. And there's my cool ass crew here because we're playing more D&D. We're rounding out the year with our last Dungeon of the Mad Mage episode of the year. And I may say to all of you guys, happy holidays and Merry New Year for those of you who I don't see before then. So there. Hey everybody, welcome back to Slices and Dices. It's Dungeon of the Mad Mage, Friday night. I got my peeps. They got me, whether they like it or not, and we're ready to keep on keeping on with everybody here on the fourth level of Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And yeah, it's been a while. So I'm more than happy to give the quickest recap so we can get back into what you guys want to do. Are you guys ready to get back into it?
Hell yes.
Hell yes. I love it. All right, here we go. I'm going to recap because I think from here on out, although I love the fact that Kraw does the recap at John Moshida speed, I'm going to do my best to recap swiftly so that we can move through into the actual gameplay. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time on Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Well, come on, recap music.
Off to a good start.
I know, right? There we go. There's the recap music. It hiccuped for a second. On level 4, you the five adventurers, what do you guys call yourselves? The
Undermountain Misfits.
Thank you, the Undermountain Misfits. I love it. Maneuvered their way through the river on 2 rafts, following the huge slimy tail of an unknown creature that preceded them through the muddy waters, when they were ambushed by several giant lobster-like creatures called chuls. During the fight, Qrevialur was almost pulled into the murky depths, but was rescued by the efforts of his compatriots. And during the rescue, a huge, tentacled creature with an enormous maw of teeth was seen by Talron under the water. Fleeing from this enormous entity, the group moved south across the slow-moving river and hearing strange voices speaking to them in their minds along the way. They passed through a set of caves and stumbled upon a nest of 10, that's right, 10 Hookhars, as well as a Hookhar matriarch, which, against all odds, and using your abilities and your wits to their utmost, you were able to defeat. However, the commotion caused by the battle roused the attention of a tribe of Kuo-toa, which, after a discussion in Undercommon, brought you to their camp to meet their leader, a Kuo-toa shaman of sorts named Noogaloop. I don't make these names up, folks. This is literally in the actual adventure. Noogaloop seemed to worship an effigy constructed from various creature body parts, constructed in the shape of a familiar face, Hallister Blackcloak. The Kuo-toa appeared to be interested in the efforts of you guys and asked you to assist his tribe in destroying the Tyrant of the Deep, which you determined to be this creature that you fled from, this aberrant monstrosity, which you found out to be an aboleth, a prehistoric entity from before recorded time, named Elune, which seemed to have tainted the waters of this area with its foul essence, and in doing so, in helping them win the Master's game and send the Kuo-toa home. And so that's where we left off last time. And here you guys find yourself after certainly a day of effort within this particular level of the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. What do you guys wish to do?
Well, I sure as hell don't want to go out fighting anytime soon.
Well, I don't know where I am.
I certainly need a rest.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, let me shift ping you guys and bring you to the map.
Yeah, I am tapped.
Yeah, it seems like all of you guys are.
I'm not. I'm
Oh,
half tapped. But a nap would definitely be helpful because my higher level slots are all spent.
yeah, like.
I'm not even a quarter tapped.
Yeah,
Well, you don't
elf
even use
man.
magic. Wait, do you even use magic?
He's got one cantrip
He uses it.
Oh yeah.
randomly.
I used to use it to take out slimy stuff on the ground.
I remember that, yeah.
Oh yeah, back at shelf.
Maybe someday I'll be able to swap out that useless cantrip.
For another useless cantrip?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, one that doesn't require an entire action to use. I don't know.
Don't hate on Thaumaturgy or Prestidigitation. They're great spells.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll see if there's a story-appropriate point where you can go and learn a different cantrip.
Well, first off, is there even a place to take a nap? Because
Where you are, you mean?
yeah.
I mean, you're in a cave system. It seems to be very sort of tribally furnished. It's certainly not in any way full of the necessities or comforts of home, shall I say. But seeing as you're sort of used to less than modern furnishings, Talron, it seems like you would be okay in this area. There's something about it that's a little bit odd smelling, but it kind of reminds you a little bit of your very old abode back in the swamp.
So are we gonna go kill the Elbauthin?
After we take a rest.
Noogaloop sort of looks at you when you say the Aboleth. He goes,
You are here because of the machinations of the Great One, of Hallister. He has prophesied that you would come to save us.
Oh, I
boy,
bet he has.
Well, can we at least take a nap first before we can go about our killing?
A nap?
Yes. You see all those creatures we just killed back there?
the other Koatoa who sort of brought you to this place, sort of one of them sort of moves over to Noogaloop and whispers in Noogaloop's. He doesn't have an ear, but he has like a hole in the side of his head, and he just sort of goes,
Hokey creatures.
Can I hear that?
make a perception check.
You got this.
I have a feeling you probably hear everything.
Alex,
There you go.
That's me.
That's you? Yeah, you certainly can hear it. These things have no... Yep, 100%. Both of you hear it. Yeah, I mean, you're close by. These things don't have quite the concept of, you know, an inside voice for saying. So they're just like,
Killed them all.
Noogaloop's eyes, already more enormous, sort of widen even more.
Uh-oh.
He goes,
You destroyed all of the hook monsters to the south.
They were in the way.
Yeah.
They just attacked us for no reason.
Yeah, there were like 10 of them, or 9, 10.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
they
are-
all came...
You are truly powerful, as the master described.
Yeah, but right now we're like... We don't really have that much energy right now, so maybe a nap would suffice.
We must provide you with sustenance.
and he like takes his flippered hands and goes, and
Uh-oh.
and 3 Kuatoa sort of wander into the room and position themselves near Noogaloop, and he goes,
They must eat. We must provide them food. They are to be honored guests.
and the 3 Kuatoa sort of flop out of the room.
What? The food?
Well, this could go either way. I hope it smells better than that thing. And I kind of gesture at the giant Hallister made of dead things.
It'll be like when I ate food underwater last time.
What? And when was the last time?
I'm lying.
I forget what does Lraxi look like right now? Because I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
I think he
Honestly.
probably looks. I mean, unless otherwise stated, he still
I
looks
mean,
like
you're an
the
8
blue dragonborn.
He looks-
You know.
You're
Okay, I couldn't remember if he had transformed into anybody.
I thought I had, but I
recently.
can't remember what it would be. So
If you
You're
have,
an
we can always
8-foot
change
tall
his.
I don't
He's
know.
got the ability on his token to actually change it.
yeah,
to,
but I don't remember what it would be, so I wouldn't worry about it.
All
I
right,
mean,
cool.
currently you're an 8-foot tall blue dragon.
Okay, so you look like Lraxi.
Hello.
Hi, just checking.
Vex, on the other hand, that's a different face.
Oh well.
I wonder if Matt's fixed it. He had a month.
What did I do? Oh no, I definitely fixed it. Oh yes,
Okay.
no, I fixed your fix. Get it?
Perfect.
Womp,
Fixed
womp.
it.
He was fixed.
Here, let's see if I fixed it for reals. This is it, right?
No.
No,
What the flip?
that's not the right one.
That's the one that you sent me like a long time ago.
No,
I sent you another one. It's okay.
no, there's a more updated one.
I'll give you the new one while we're waiting here.
Thank you.
Right.
It's not that one. It's
While we're
not
waiting
that
for
one.
food.
It's not that one. Yeah, it takes a few minutes before, but I mean, like, if you guys want to do anything, or in terms of engaging Nugaloop or any of the Kuatoa in conversation, you're certainly welcome to do so.
I mean, I'll ask Nugaloop. So this, what's the name of the What's the
Illoon.
aboleth's name?
It said its
Illoon.
name was Illoon, yeah.
Illoon. Have you guys tried to do anything to get rid of Illoon?
We have sent many of our younglings and warriors against Yaloon, but they have never returned.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing they ran into those giant lobsters.
If
Or
you
they ran
refer-
into Illoon?
You refer to the Chul. We have
Yeah.
bested one of the Chul.
And it sort
Oh,
of
that was
points its flipper in the south from where you guys came. There's like a corridor to the south.
Oh, that was a third? Because we fought like the two.
Two.
Yaloon has many of such creatures.
Wait, you're saying there's more?
How many?
We do not know. We have
Yeah,
destroyed one, though. Look!
And he sort of motions again to the south.
I looked to the south.
Yeah, to the south of you, you see this creature over here, which I'm pinging right here. It's sort of green entrails are
Lovely.
splayed all over the place. It smells like a rotting, like the worst possible rotting lobster smell that you could possibly think of.
It
I've
looks
been there.
pickled.
Actually, Nugaloop, in the giant cavern where we saw Illoon, is that where it lives?
Hold on for 1 second. Let me check that, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Would he even know?
I don't know.
Worth
I'm pretty
asking.
sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure that creature is smart enough to know.
Well- If they're sending things to kill it, I assume they know where to send them. Is my thought.
Still, more schools. God damn.
I know. That's well. I've got a.
I was thinking, okay, we took out its defenses, so maybe it's just by itself. But no, you're saying there's more.
It's probably not. I want to ask him about that island that I saw.
Oh, yeah, the island with the stuff.
The island that was that was back behind.
Yeah, I saw it too, but I didn't really. Well,
Well, I want to see if he knows anything about it, because maybe if there's a way to get to that island, we can get into the cavern without waking up or notifying
oh,
Illoon of our presence.
Okay.
welcome back.
Yes. Welcome back.
What was the question that you had posed? Apologies.
The question was that large cavern where we saw Illoon, is that where it lives?
Nugaloop says,
Yes, we believe
There was-
that is the case.
Well, there was an island in that cavern. Is there any way to get to that island?
There are many ways inside that cavern. Many of the passageways through the river enter that space.
Are there any that we could get through without Elune noticing that we were coming?
Elune is a master of this space.
As he starts to look around sort of the area, he says,
It may be that he already knows you are here.
Wait. Voices in your head? That kind of stuff?
He has spoken to you.
Yes.
What does he say to you?
Yeah, sorry, it's been
He expresses his desire to have us love him and to worship him.
Well, this is definitely a win for minions.
What do
Does he ever come out of the water?
We have seen him breach his bulk only in times of distress or when he chooses to feed.
Stress?
Yes, when we choose to swim through the water, we are swift, but he is swifter. But we are able to breathe air and water. He is as well. We have tried many tactics. We have tried hunting him from the beaches. But he breaches himself on the beaches, and his massive tentacles swarm our people and drag them into the deep.
So he's definitely a very strong.
Yeah, but how do we stress him out so he comes out of the water?
I do not know.
I mean,
We needn't
You
get him
said
out of the
when
water
he gets
as long as he's
stressed out, he comes out of the water. So how did you stress him out?
We threw our harpoons at him.
What?
Lraxi,
I have an idea to stress him out enough without even the usage of harpoons. A spell that I wasn't unable to get working properly last time. Just
What you
control
got?
water around him, and suddenly he's spinning around, taking some, pressure from it. Deals some damage, and then eventually he'll be forced to come up.
Spinning fish.
What happens if someone agrees to love him? Has anyone ever agreed?
I think we've already seen that with that drow earlier.
The drow who were dying? Oh, the crazy
The
ones,
one,
right.
yeah.
But had they agreed? Have any of your people agreed? Moogaloo?
Never. We would never be subject to such tyranny.
Hey, Qrevialur, what do you think of all this? Your mic is muted.
I think we're spending a lot of time talking, and that's about it. I don't think this is constructive in any way. I think we should just attack? Maybe sleep first? You guys seem to want. I think we should start preparations instead of conversations.
I think this is a conversation concerning preparation.
It's definitely worth taking notes of, like, well, we all now know that it's a very strengthy fish. I mean,
We already knew that.
From what I've heard, you've already seen one of them, Talron, so you have more information than I do.
I mean, we saw one back at Schult when we were inside the tomb.
You have seen one of these before?
It's a long story, but there was one other one, except it had like the mind of a
Child.
Yeah, it had the mind of a child.
Clearly
then-
a deceptive ruse.
I have no idea what they're talking about, to be honest.
Well, you weren't around, so you missed out on that.
It was friendly.
It was, but then we accidentally discovered it and we ran off.
A wise decision.
But seeing as we're here and we're now going to have to kill this one.
At this point, I do happen to agree with Qrevialur. This conversation has grown superfluous. I think we could just take a rest, and then we could head on to the Elbauthin after the rest.
Agreed. Let's
Superfluous.
eat.
My
up
word
and
of the day, Elbauthin.
Superfluous.
Jesus, Elbauthin, when did you grow like a voice?
You see, I'm trying to practice a noble stand for whenever I decide to hide as a noble.
You're trying to be a noble.
Has that food arrived yet? I
Oh
am
yeah, I
hungry.
forgot about the food. Yeah, sorry.
That's why we were chatting to kill
Yeah, I
time
was
till
like-
food got here.
Yeah, 3 small like Kuatoa rush into the room. Each of them carry 2 plates in each hand. They look like baby versions of Kuatoa. They're sort of adorable, but also disgusting in their own sort of strange way. And each of them are carrying these plates, and they're way too big for them. But on each of them is just a steaming pile of green plant life. It smells.
Is it raw?
Oh no, it's steaming. It's cooked. At least so you think. I mean, it seems to be somehow cooked.
What does it smell like?
Like really bad Brussels sprouts.
Jesus.
Hmm.
Well, can't be any worse than swamp food I've had.
The Kuatoa chieftain Nugaloop sort of swats one of the Kuatoa children and says,
Present them. They are honored guests.
and the Kuatoa children they wordlessly just go.
Alright, I'll grab one and
I will take one.
I will take one.
I look at it for a moment and then just put it in my mouth.
Okay. It doesn't taste awful. It just tastes very salty and briny. It tastes like really super salty, stinky seaweed.
What if I was to prestidigitate, like,
Prestidigitate?
I am so
Prestidigitate.
Just, what if I could just make it so it tastes, like, make it so it tastes a little more bearable?
Yeah, sure. I'll allow that. That's fine.
Yeah, definitely, I'll look over at Zeke. Yeah, that is some salty, very salty, too much salt.
I'm gonna shove some in my mouth and be like, "Oh, that's not terrible." I'm just gonna keep eating it.
Okay.
Fuck it.
I'm cool.
Just gonna- yeah.
The prestidigitation is not a sort of permanent thing. It only lasts for maybe like a second or two. So as you sort of prestidigitate onto this pile of seaweed, the stank goes away for just a moment, but then it comes back.
Cantrips.
I'm just shoveling in seaweed. It's fine. It's
any
food.
of you else? Any of
It's
this?
not chimera jerky.
That's perfectly acceptable. Any else of you eating it?
I ate some of it.
Okay, cool. Nugaloop says,
Ah, you are fed. Yes. We have,
Indeed.
Yes. Thank
we have
you.
revitalized you with our sustenance.
Nugaloop, how do you Kuatoa people breed?
What?
Nugaloop,
I mean-
sort of his mouth sort of jitters a little bit. Like he has these little things hanging off of his mouth. They start to sort of go. He says,
I mean,
We breed like every other sentient creature.
how about it? Have you ever heard of the story of the birds and the bees?
So you guys, your females don't lay eggs. You guys.
let me find out. I'm actually kind of
Oh,
interested to know.
God.
I mean, Elbauthin, our females lay eggs.
Hold on.
I know.
Talking about
Let me see.
Dragonborn, of course.
Let me see.
I know.
I look over at Lraxi and just give him a weird look.
What? Lizard folk do the same thing.
Well, yeah, I'm aware of that, but
You guys were hatched.
I'm just gonna take Root out of my bag, give him some water, see if he wants some seaweed.
trying
Root's getting pretty big
to
now.
get
He's
to
about a
know
foot and a half,
the-
2 feet long now, almost.
Jesus.
Hatching. I remember my hatch day like any other. It was just another day.
trying to get to know the local,
Fauna.
Are you writing a book or something? Why is this information even interesting to you?
It
Why
doesn't
do you wish
say
to
that
know
they're
how-
hatched from eggs, but they're sort of like fish people. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that they just have a whole bunch of eggs that they're that they somehow tend to.
Eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just pretend I heard that coming out of his mouth.
That's perfectly acceptable. I think that's fine.
Well, I mean, as much as we're famished, yeah, we still need to take
We still need a rest.
a sleep. Yeah.
Yes.
As in a long rest, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
If that is okay.
And Noogaloop says,
You are our welcome guests. You may take your rest if you choose to. Here, of course.
Thank you very much.
I'm in the word about hooked horrors and all that. So.
I'm going to take a very long rest to put those hit points back up to 91.
There you go.
what happened to, did we somehow leave Nerthiost behind? Because I do not see him here.
He was right below me and then he disappeared.
Yeah, he just vanished a minute ago.
He was right here.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, where'd he go?
Is
I
someone on
actually- I
top
had
of
this-
him?
Under
Is someone on top
No.
of him?
I had the screen up and he vanished. Like he just poofed. I thought someone moved him.
So
Me too.
he just
I think-
abandoned you.
No, he did not. No.
Nope.
No.
You refuse to
No.
believe that a creature would
No,
never
because he
abandon
didn't. I'm not refusing because he never left. He's just hiding.
Elbauthin, are you on it?
Bird.
you. This is bad. If one of you guys are standing on him, he's not going to be very happy. I'm just letting you know.
What?
I'd imagine so.
Everybody
not
move
under
around
me.
your token. Let's see if we can find
I
him.
just did. He's not under me.
Don't look at me.
This is like, where's
He
Waldo?
poofed.
He was right here.
Did he
that's
get
the
like
thing.
moved into the wall
I
somehow?
have no idea.
Did he get moved to another layer, Matt?
Nope, he's not on the layers. I'm looking at every
Where's
layer.
Nerthios?
Are you guys looking for the
Where's
floating?
Did he
dead
accidentally get
beholder?
deleted?
Let me move around my
What you guys are
Kuotoa
looking
and see
for?
if they're...
Well, no, he
You
was
guys looking
below
for a
Qrevialur,
floating
so
abduction?
Yeah, he was
He's
right
just-
next to me.
You guys should be
And I
finding
saw
him.
him poof.
He just
Dead
poofed.
beholder.
He poofed.
Can't find a 5-foot beholder.
there we go.
Hey,
found him.
there he is.
What
Totally,
happened?
I totally didn't just bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Welcome back,
Totally
Nerthiest.
Alright.
Thanks!
Just
I'm
when I
actually gonna
thought he
move the
was
rest of the way into
gone,
this
he's
creepy
back.
ass chamber.
He's back. All right, so everybody is able to take a long rest. So go ahead and
Excellent.
put back your resources that come back with a long rest, and of course use your hit dice as much as you'd like.
You don't use hit dice.
I mean,
on-
sorry,
Not a lot.
I'm sorry. Increase your hit points and get back half your hit dice. Derp. Sorry.
I have.
It's been a while.
Woohoo, rage. Woohoo, inspiration.
My hit points were already full, but I got my spells and my sorcery points
Did we
back.
take a short rest or
You took a
full
Long.
rest?
We're taking a long rest.
Yeah, it was a long rest.
Okay, so we get all our hit dice back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No.
No,
You get,
half.
you get half your hit dice back on a long rest.
And all of your hit points.
That's correct.
So if you had used any hit dice on a short rest, you get half of them back.
Well, fully rested, fully eaten. Now, where can we get ourselves a boat?
Okay, so 8 hours later, you want to fast forward?
Wait, we're gonna fight this thing on water?
How else
Well,
do
we
you propose
have to
fight it?
get to it. We can't get to it
Well,
without getting on a
I
boat.
was proposing how to do that last night, and
Well,
you weren't
we can
listening.
now talk about it.
No. How do we stress it out to get it out of the water? Lraxi said that he had something that would be.
Control water.
But the-
Whirlpool.
But the
Yeah.
room that it's in, unless there is an overland passage to that room that it's in, we had to get on a boat to get back to the room.
Is it like a particular check that the whirlpool is, or?
It's gonna force itself its way out, so probably some sort of like, I don't know, brute force.
Yeah. I mean, I